All right, so I had this. This is a pretty cool question, right? It's not really an ask HershNoeie because they didn't. If they don't say ask HershNoeie, then excuse me, then I probably, or if they don't put it in that category, I don't title it as that. So this is a pretty cool one, and I told them this was on Facebook. I told him I'm going to do a video about it. He sent me a direct message and asked me this question. I said, I'll answer your question. Excuse me. But it's going to be in the, it's going to be in a video. So his question was, who do you think it would be your, let me back up. They went through, there was asking a bunch of stuff. He told me what his thoughts were about his choices. He asked me, if you were going to be in a Hollywood movie, who would play you and who would be the person, who would be your co-star, and who do you have a Hollywood crush on? He goes on to say, I'm more interested in who is your Hollywood crush. Now, I remember there was a guy who lives in Florida. And he says that basically his wife is this same person, right? And I think every man feels the exact same way. Not every man, but there's a lot of dudes that feel the same way. And there's some people who go back and forth. I went back and forth with a guy between two of these people because he was saying this person, I was saying the other person. We both were saying both were very attractive. I mean, but there's one that just, I'm going to pull him up too while I'm talking. I'm just going to, hold on. Let me see. Is it the one where, hold on. Let me see which one where they're jogging. Yes, it was. I knew it. Okay. Sorry. So people have said, who would be your Hollywood crush? And there's going to be two people who come to the top of the list instantly. Nia Long and HershNoeie Latham. Now, my buddy really likes HershNoeie. And she ain't bad. I mean, she really is. She's cute. Both can wear their hair short or long. But Nia Long, I mean, I'm sorry. Nia Long, though, like, Nia Long. Nia Long captured my attention because of the Hood movies. And I remember the first time, I believe it's the first time I saw her, which was in Boys in the Hood. And I'm like, who's that? You know, I'm like, wait, who's that? And she was in that movie, and I'm like, dang, she bad. But, movies a lot of times will have a person that's in a movie and they never show up in another movie again, right? Like whatever, right? And then she was in the Friday movie. Both of these have Ice Cube in them. And the one scene that did it for me, because again, the name didn't register to me or anything like that. I just happened to see the Friday movie. And she's jogging. The jogging scene, I was done. I mean, that was it. That was it for me. I'm like, my goodness. The jogging scene did it for me. I have it pulled up right here. That's such a favorite. Just type in Nia Long jogging. And they show something from back in the 90s because it was so iconic. Now, obviously, the woman has jogged a lot since then. And, there's paparazzi everywhere. But that scene was so iconic that if you type that up, there's still images of her just in she's just bad. Bad. Anyway, okay. So to me, my Hollywood crush would be Nia Long. Who would play me in a movie? I would say it would be me. Now, you know how you have some people say, oh, you don't want Denzel to play me or Idris Elba. I don't look like any of those people, right? I don't look like none of them. So for me, it would just be me. It would be me playing myself in a movie because I think I would be able to, it wouldn't be that best of acting. I'm not telling you that. It's not going to be anything that you're going to be like, this is going to be a hit. It's going to be bad. But I would do the best I could, and I would definitely play myself. And it would probably be a movie. It wouldn't be some action movie because the dude was saying like he would choose HershNoeie Latham and, it would be an action movie and he's like some sort of a hero and blah, 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 blah. I ain't trying to do all that, right? It ain't going to be that complicated. I would imagine for a movie for me would probably be that I was some sort of like an attorney, right? And that, me and HershNoeie, because there's got to be love scenes. If there's HershNoeie Latham, there's got to be love scenes in it, right? Like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, come on. So, it would be more or less like me being an attorney and we moved from the city to like the countryside, right? And that I'm, going back and forth to work and different things like that. And, she's trying to discover what her new career is and all of that, and me being supportive or whatnot. And then we face difficulties because, she hates living out there and I'm, being too selfish because I want, my privacy and I want my, that type of thing. And if we are going to make it or not, right? Now that may sound like a lame and boring type of movie, but I'm not interested in no action-packed type of me having to run and jump and hop and all that type of stuff. I'm not doing that. And I definitely can't be no gangster because that's just not who I am, right? Definitely not no thug because people would see right through that. They'd be like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? But when it comes to love scenes, yep. Especially HershNoeie Latham. It's just, and I still have it up right here. Just, I'm telling you, she can have long hair or short hair. She's like Halle Berry. Halle Berry can rock short or long hair and still look insane. You know what I'm saying? Back before she was strange, Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash. And she's old. Stacey Dash is old, but still bad. But she's a little crazy. But HershNoeie Latham would definitely be it. My movie would not be something crazy. It would be something very similar to my life now. I'm not an attorney, but it'd be something similar to that. And just, us trying to figure out how to balance life and career and all of that while living kind of secluded. I'd see something like that. Or like a scary type of movie. I could see that. I could see it being we move out to the country. It's a haunted type of house. We're trying to get, back to where we were living at before and trying to leave and we can't leave. Something like that. Something in the house keeps us from leaving. Something like that. Now, obviously, again, there has to be some early love scenes. There should be early, middle, and end. If you guys have seen the series on Starz, which is The Outlander, they do a wonderful job. Sassenach and Jamie, they do a wonderful job of peppering in a lot of love scenes. And I'm like, dude is lucky. Like, gee. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't even have to pay me full price. It's like, dang. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Make sure you pepper it in every so often. And that would be the best movie for me. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not trying to be nasty or raunchy, but I'm just saying. It doesn't have to be like full on, stuff. Like in Monsters Ball, it ain't gotta be like that. But I'm just saying, like a little kissy here, a little kissy there. That'd be cool. I'd be cool with that. That'd be perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But it would be probably a scary movie. I could do that. I could definitely do something like that. Because I'm not someone who scares very easily. The kids try to scare me all the time. It never works. It worked one time. One time, and they were so proud of themselves. But literally every day, several times a day, they try to scare me. Noelle tries to scare me. It never works. But I always scare them. 95% of the time, I always pretty much scare them. There may be a few times and it's rare. There's maybe a few times where I don't get them, but I'm not scared of stuff, really. You know what I mean? Like haunted houses, that's a little different. Yeah, there's things that, I'm like, well, what's going to happen? I don't like that. But like being afraid of stuff, I'm just not really afraid. Like, I don't know. Like I walk down, like, there's parts of Chicago that I used to drive through at night, like late night. And you'd see people hanging out on the corner, like 30, 40 people hanging out in the corner. I'd stop at the stoplight. Now, mind you, it was like a rolling, like I was creeping. If the light turned red, I'd slow down way before I got there. And I just, slowly coast up, looking straight ahead. And then when it was green, man, I just, I was gone. But, I did not go there. I've been through East St. Louis, downtown Seattle, in certain areas that are kind of a little sketch. I just walk through, not a big deal. And I think because of my size, it kind of, people like, well, whatever, like if he wants to start something, we'll start something type of thing. But typically, most people don't try to start something with me, knock on wood. So I'm happy about that. But most things don't really scare me. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't bother me. Now I will take that back. I'll take that back. And this is way off on a tangent. In Haiti, the one thing that scared me was not being on the back of a motorbike on a dirt gravel road with big rocks in it and you bouncing around and there's cliffs and everything. That didn't scare me. You know what I mean? That didn't scare me. Some of the rocks were like slick like glass because it had been raining. That didn't scare me. The mosquitoes and all that didn't bother me because you can get something. That didn't bother me. Let's see. Oh, there's very few police on the island I was on. Because it's Lagunov Island. There was like maybe 3-4 cops, and you have a population of 150,000. And if something were to happen, like what happens? Like what do you do? Everybody was super friendly, super nice, but I had a lot of money on me, but that didn't bother me. The one thing that bothered me was this humongous spider. Now it wasn't a tarantula, which they do have. There were other things that it freaked me out. I'm like, what? Like they had salamanders, like in the room. There's a salamander on the floor. I'm like, what? That's strange. A lot of lizards, different types of lizards running around outside, iguanas and different things all running around. That didn't bother me. Big old land crabs. You can hear them like at night crawling and stuff, and they're big and they, climb up the freaking wall and stuff. That didn't bother me. The spider. This spider, and I kid you not, like was crawling up the wall. It was a huge black spider. And like here's the wall, and its foot would hit here, and just like it was the weirdest. It had like an elbow and arm like what I have. The elbow would hit first on the wall, and then it was the freakiest thing, man. Even now I'm like, ugh. So that thing was huge. Like I would say that spider, this is my little yogurt lid. Okay, it was bigger than this, easily. It was huge. Like you would not miss it crawling up the wall inside of the place I was at. Imagine waking up and you see this crawling up the wall. That freaked me out. That I ain't cool with. I ain't cool with that at all. Now, spiders, not a big deal. There's spiders that I get rid of here all the time. Some of them are in the house. I just kill them. or I release them or something like that. Not a big deal. We even have those wolf spiders here. Not a big deal. In New Mexico, we had a big old wood pile next to the house, which I wouldn't advise doing. Had like maybe 5 to 6 different black widows. I don't like it, and they're super dangerous, but that wasn't a big deal. This dude here was a big deal to me. And then the locals laughed at me because they're like, it ain't gonna bother you, bro. And the lady that was there, she's from California. It was her place. And she laughed. She caught it in a cup. She laughed and she released it. She's like, it's not a big deal. They won't hurt you. And so she was telling everybody, she could speak in Haitian Creole. She told some of the people there, and they were just laughing at me. I'm like, y'all can laugh all you want. But when something that big is crawling up the wall like that, no. And they were saying because the water in the shower around the thing had collected, because there's not a lot of water around. And so there were bugs that came in. There were these little water bug type things that came in. And I saw them. They were big. That didn't bother me. And so it came in because of that. So all of the stuff I was seeing came in because I turned the water on. And there was a room that she never really used it. She didn't use it much. I activated that room and everything wanted to come in. Salamanders, spiders, bugs. And the one thing, and the mosquitoes, the one thing I wasn't cool with, though, was the spider. That I had a little bit of fear of. Other than that, not really. Not really. It doesn't really bother me. Like possums, raccoons, that doesn't bother me. I haven't seen a mountain lion in person. Noelle has. She was in the car. She saw 2 of them here. That probably, if I was walking and I saw that, yeah. Like, yeah, that would do it. Because I mean, these look like basically lionesses. If you've ever seen like a lioness, they look just like that, just smaller version. Yeah, that would do it. Or a wolf. Coyote, not so much, but a wolf, yeah. Things like that, but most other things don't really bother me at all. Anyhow, that was a complete big tangent. Hope you guys join our Discord, which is going to be down in the description box below. If you were starring in a movie, what type of movie would it be? Who would be you? Who would be the actor that would play you? And who is your Hollywood crush? Because that is really cool. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.